go, 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 shorty. It's your birthday. We gon' party like it's.
Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Softball Edition. And my guest for this week's show is none other than junior outfielder on the softball team here at Menlo College, Keeley Hernandez. Keeley, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me again.
You're very welcome. Third time's the charm, even though the first two went out pretty well. Now, this is a unique interview in the sense that we are filming this interview live on your 21st birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
What are your big plans for the day?
I'm just having dinner with my teammates.
So something that you'd probably do on
any
most
other day,
occasions
yes.
anyways. But with the weekend off, I'm sure that allows you an opportunity to go back home. Easter holiday, so you're going to celebrate with them. I'm sure it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And we have the balloons in the background right here, which is absolutely perfect. Keeley shows up to the interview and she's got these massive happy birthday balloons, and so of course we had to liven up the set just a little bit. Now, a few weeks ago, Ari Velarde told me on the show that you have oftentimes stolen her eyebrow makeup. And in the conversations I've had with you before, you didn't come across as someone who would steal from other people. So why do you do it?
Okay, so that scenario had a story behind it, and I do not normally steal, but I've gotten brought up a lot as a thief. And that whole scenario was based on retaliation because I have this pillow that she's obsessed with, and she took it that day and really thought I wouldn't notice. And I asked her so many times if she had it because I knew it was missing, and she tried to switch it with me. So it was like she tried to switch her pillow. So it was kind of like, it wasn't the same. I knew it wasn't the same. And I was like, I think you have my pillow. And she's like, no. And she lied to me about it for a long time. So the whole thing was just retaliation for the pillow.
What's so special about the pillow?
I don't know. I don't know why she likes it so much. I really didn't think anything of it, but she said like it's just like really soft and it's not like other pillows apparently. So
is it just a normal sized pillow? Is it a body pillow?
No, it's a normal sized pillow, and it's just like it's like a softer one, and it's not like too firm. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's honestly it's pretty like a loose, I guess, like almost like too like soft for me, like very like flexible. I can't explain it, but anyway, yeah, she really likes it. So
that's kind of in a way like torturing you because it's taking a pillow, which is an essential part of sleep. Mm-hmm. So if that pillow is missing, you're not getting as quality of sleep as you would have otherwise.
Exactly. So in retaliation, her eyebrow stuff, she won't have her eyebrows.
At first, Ari, I felt bad for you, but now I don't feel bad at all. I think Keeley had every right to take your makeup.
And everyone who knew the story knew that. They knew that.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad that now we've put that to bed, and now we can finally move on. It was just a tick for tick kind of situation.
Yes.
I'm glad that happened. Well, I'm not glad that you stole,
yes.
But I'm glad that now the score has been settled. We're back to even. And now no one can look at Keeley Hernandez in a bad light.
No.
Especially because it's her birthday. You can't do that. Now, I've always known that you have a fantastic arm in the outfield. You've been racking up outfield assists for years, but you were able to gun down 2 runners last week against Hope International in big moments in the game. What's it like for you when you just absolutely nail someone out the plate and it's not even close?
It's a really good feeling. It's just like, for me, it's like I know that I'm doing something that is like really beneficial to my pitchers, and we always talk about like playing for each other. And like before that game, actually, we were asked to write letters to our pitchers, and in them, like one thing that we included was like something that you would do for them. And so like as kind of like a joke, I was like, I throw like any girl out for you guys any day, like, and I kind of put that in. And so like it just like really gets me hyped up to know that I can like do something for them like on the field, and like knowing that you have like, because like especially with our outfield, like knowing, like we like to think that like knowing that they have us behind them, they're just like more comfortable like when they throw the ball to their pitchers. So that's kind of how I feel about it.
For sure, and they were absolute blasts from the outfield. We'll play them again for you right here on the screen.
Cervantes is ready. Here's the 1-1. It's into right field. Hernandez is right there, makes the catch, and coming in is Mao. The throw, the tag by and they got her at home plate. So Reyes will now go to work on Nicole Wise, who's 0 for 4 with 4 line drives today. And the first pitch is hit in the air to right center field. Hernandez over, makes the catch, tagging is Sanchez. Here comes the throw, and Hernandez got her again! The second time in the game, Keeley Hernandez has gunned a runner out at the plate, and this keeps us tied at 4 as we head to the bottom of the 8th.
I don't know how you did it. I really don't know. First one was like, okay, I get that one because they should never have sent the runner. You had her by a mile. Yeah. The second one, 8th inning, tie game, that's the go-ahead run. Just, I mean, that sense of adrenaline going through your body as you get her at home plate for the second time in the game has just got to be an unreal feeling.
Yeah, and I know that player, she's friends with my roommates, and so it was like, we like knew as soon as she was into pinch run, like in the 8th inning, we're kind of like looking at her and like smiling because like we know she's really fast, and I didn't think that I would have the opportunity, but I knew like as it was coming, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to do this, and she's really fast, so like we're just gonna see how this goes. We just gotta go for it.
Now, those were certainly big reasons why the Oaks were able to rebound this past weekend and take those 2 games from Hope International, ranked 9th in the country. How are you able to put Friday behind you and come back as strongly as you were on Saturday?
I think that Friday kind of just like lit a fire under us, and really like we really thought that like going into Friday that we were gonna have like obviously like a much better outcome, but we would in general have a better performance, and we didn't own up to that. And it was just like a really hard day on us because we had the first 2 games that we played them, we were really close with them, and that was like some very good competition that we had in those games. So I think we were just like really disappointed with ourselves. And before the next game on Saturday, we went around and we told each other like, okay, like let's just like all commit to like one thing. And like it really wasn't so much like, oh, like I commit to like hitting this or like making these outs. All of our commitments were to like encouraging each other and picking each other up. So I feel like once we kind of made it like, okay, like just let go of anything that happened in the past, including the previous time that we played Hope, they kind of freed us up in a way to like play the way that we know that we could that day.
And both of the wins for the Oaks were in walk-off fashion in the 8th inning by freshmen Mia Thompson in Game 1 and McKenna Weiler in Game 2. What have the younger players meant to this year's team? Because there's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's 11 of them. Well, we started with 11 of them, and they have been incredible. I have loved getting to know them and being able to play with them. It was a little bit of a transition at first, just like we had lost so many infielders with our seniors, and we didn't know, like, for the most part, like, kind of like how these freshmen, like, you know, would play out and stuff. And I feel like we've just, as a team, like, grown so much, especially those 2 freshmen and some of the other ones, like Nohe and Tay. They just all bring so much character to our team, and, like, Alyssa, like everybody, I can name things about everyone that I really like appreciate. And so their abilities on the team for sure, but besides on the field, just like their personalities and their attitudes towards the game and towards the team, like I really appreciate like them for everything that they've done so far. And honestly, I wasn't surprised that either Mia or McKenna were able to do that. Like we all knew like it didn't matter like who was gonna go up, like especially with those 2, like those are very big hitters. Kenna's great in situational like hitting, and Mia's just like a power hitter. Like she hits gaps well, and so they've been a great thing to have. Nice pleasure.
Now, with those kind of wins late in the season, just a couple of games left in the regular season before playoffs, are those really huge team boosts as you make your way towards the playoffs?
Yeah, so one thing that Gina's been saying for a while, and I think that we kind of like keep going back to it because it's like we'll have our down moments and then we'll have days like that. I mean, not quite like that, but we'll have like higher days. And Gina has been saying all season, like, we're going to peak at the right time, ladies. She keeps saying that, and like we kind of mean that for like GSAC. Like, you know, those wins are like really great, like going into GSAC. Obviously, like finishing, you know, against Jessup, and that kind of like keeps us on a high, but we still want to come out to Jessup and play that team as if like we don't remember anything from the past, like the last time that we played them, the same way that we played Hope. But yeah, so they're really good for our motto of like we're peaking, we're going to peak.
Definitely. And Gina's going to be one of the 2 Oaks playing in her final home games next week after Easter, Regina and Sarah Reyes. How badly do you want to end their home careers with a couple of wins on Senior Day?
Extremely. Yeah, no, they deserve it so much. Like Gina, just because of like her grit to like pursue in this sport, like the time that she's had at Menlo, like if you know Gina, like you know, like she's been through like so much like injury wise, and just like she's seen like so many coaches throughout the years, like, you know, besides like team shifts, like just her grit to keep playing. Like, you know, we want to have like enough to really finish out the season strong for her and hopefully continue it on past GSAC. And Sarah does it all, so she deserves all of it from us. They both do. So, yeah, we hoping.
Yeah, the Oaks wrap up the season after Easter on Wednesday at Wonderlic Field Senior Day for Regina Juarez and Sarah Reyes. All right, Keeley, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 off-the-wall questions. Give me your best answers. Okay. Question number 1, which teammate has stolen the most things from you?
I would say... This is kind of hard because I feel like people don't really steal from me.
Good. I hope that's the case.
I would actually say Regina, but it's more like she'll borrow and then like she'll forget to give things back. So like not too long ago there was like a shirt and like maybe like I think it was a flannel or a cardigan or something that she had of mine, and I was like, I have been looking for this since I got here this junior year. Like I said, I got to school in August, so like thank you. I'm pretty sure she borrowed it for like sometime during the summer, and yeah, so I would say Regina.
Doesn't surprise me one little bit. Question number 2, which teammate is the fastest walker?
That's kind of funny. I would say it's kind of a tie between Ari and Lauren. So if you ever see me, Ari, Lauren, and V walking around school at all, it's like a dynamic that works out every time. So it's always Ari and Lauren are like very, like just their pace of life is just very fast, and they like you know, like precision, like in fact, like they're very fast people, and so like anytime you see us all walking together, it's like slowly like Ari and Lauren are like up ahead, like talking, like walking, and then it's just like me and V like taking our time, like trying to like not rushing anywhere, and they really don't think they're rushing, which is like even funnier, but it's just that's just their pace. That's their pace.
You're also choosing the fastest players on the team, the players that lead the team in stolen bases, so it really comes as no surprise they're going to be the ones leading the pack on just a stroll to Bronner Hall or something like that. And then question number 3, if you could make one teammate dress as the Easter Bunny, who would you choose and why?
I would say Nohea He, because, I mean, I don't know, everyone's seen her, you've met her, just her personality, she's just like such like a mellow like type, like very chill person that, and she's, I don't know, she would just be like so uncomfortable like in a costume like that, like in front of people, and like she has like a very just like straight face about like everything, so just seeing like her and like her face like in an Easter Bunny costume like would just be hilarious to me.
Yeah, that's a very interesting dynamic for an Easter Bunny. Like that doesn't necessarily in my mind spread Easter cheer.
Exactly.
So you might want to get her like hyped up on a couple of energy drinks or something to like get her a little bouncier and a little springier. Bonus question for you, we're going to get into number 4 here on Brownie Bites. Which teammate is going to give you the best birthday cake? Someone's got to give her some birthday cake.
I would say Lauren, just because she probably in a lot of ways kind of knows me the best, and she like is really big on like just spreading like birthday cheer, and like for everyone's birthday that we've had, she's always been like over the top about like doing something for us. So I would say Lauren.
What is your birthday cake of choice?
Truthfully, I would say probably not a cake. I would say like either a pie or a cheesecake, and I'm kind of a lemon meringue or like key lime person. Okay. I'm a very like citrusy kind of person. So
yeah. Of course, the lemon meringue pie, one of the toughest ones to make, easily. Like my grandmother had a really good recipe for it that my mom just has never been able to replicate. I don't know what it is about it that's so tough to make, but apparently there's something if my mom can't fully figure it out quite yet. But hopefully you get the best lemon meringue you've ever had for your birthday. Happy birthday, Keeley, and thanks for joining me on the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome, folks. The softball team wrapping up the season next week. It's going to be on Wednesday out at Wonderlic Field, a 1 o'clock first pitch. The Oaks taking on William Jessup University as we honor Regina Juarez and Sarah Reyes, their final home games at Menlo College. We invite you to tune into next week's episode of Unrooted Softball Edition. Keeley Hernandez will select the final guest of the show on 2019, so there's a lot of pressure on you for this week.
Okay, that's fine.
She's going to live up to it just like she did throwing out those runners at home plate. So we invite you to tune in to next week's episode. We'll see you then. Happy Easter, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Go, 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 shorty. it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip.